This is Jordan Lind, and this is my mom. This is my history project. Question number 1. How old were you when the Berlin Wall was being destroyed?
I was 25.
Question 2. What were you doing at the time of the wall being destroyed?
I was working full-time at Biggs, which was a retail establishment in Eastgate, and I was going to school full-time at UC main campus.
Question 3. What were your thoughts on communism at the time?
My thoughts have never changed, nor will they ever. Everyone should have the freedom to choose how they live, how they raise their families, and also have an opportunity to enjoy their lives. A person should never be penalized for where they were born and how government runs the country they live in.
Question 4. What do you remember hearing them talk about on TV about the wall?
I don't remember a lot because access to media and news was definitely different than it is now. Besides, I was busy with work and school. If I was up at night for the evening news, I would get some information that way. Or if something major happened and somebody else found out, then I would learn from it from work or school. But that was secondhand news, of course.
Question 5. Growing up, did you know about the conflicts going on around the world?
As a child, we were very limited. Plus, I grew up out in Brown County, so our news was at least a week or two behind in the newspapers. We had to rely on what we've got now, the Brown County Press, and that's probably about it at the time. And then the limited TV stations, and also what we would learn in school in our history classes and government classes and things of that nature.
Question 6. Did your family ever speak to you about the war growing up?
I have heard stories about my dad's time in the Marine Corps. He was in there for 8 years. He was in the war during the Korean War, but I think he sheltered us from all the bad stuff. He would share stories, but they were always really interesting, very good stories. One of his favorite stories that he shared with us, all of us, was about being stationed in Hawaii. And his big story was that he would be dropped from a helicopter into pineapple fields, and they would sit out there and drink a beverage and eat those fresh pineapples, and how good that they always tasted.
Question 7. How was the overall mood in the country at the time?
I don't remember being alarmed because we had a sense at that time that nothing bad could ever happen to us in the United States. This was a sense that I can never remember any time being scared growing up. It was either from being sheltered by my family or just the fact that we lived in the Midwest in Ohio where we just felt safe. This didn't change until, it didn't change for me until 9/11. And then at that time, the world became very small. And I think this devastated me because both my boys were little at the time, and it was my job to protect them. And at that time, I didn't know how to protect them from dangers that I had never known existed, heard of, or anything. And life has definitely changed since then. Jordan was 10 months old at the time.
8. Looking back now, how do you feel about the whole time period?
I think back then it was better because we just had this free sense that nothing would ever touch us. We were big bad United States and, everybody liked us, or if they didn't, we just felt like we were so much better that nobody would ever bother us. So it would be actually nice to go back to certain times like that and live in a time where we didn't have to worry about everything, the schools being safe, going to a movie and having our kids possibly shot in a movie theater. On the things that we enjoyed as kids growing up, taking for granted that we would be safe, that's not the way the world is now. It would be nice for it to go back a little bit.
Question 9. Growing up, how did the fact that your dad was in the military change your life as an overall standpoint?
I was very, very proud. I was proud of my father that he served the country. He served 8 years in the military, and it just, even to this day, it makes me proud. He's now in the Veterans Home in Georgetown, and it just makes me proud to go in there and see the gentleman that served our country. It's a very good feeling to know that they fought for me to keep me safe, and it was just an honor to have a dad that risked his life and protected all of us for those years. And I'll go to my grave being thankful for any person that serves in the military.
Well, that's all I got. Thank you, Mom, for your time. Bye.
Thank you all.